Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So today's session we are going to study Samyama mainly, which is the heart of yoga, because dharana, dhyana and samadhi are the most important limbs of yoga. So last class I gave you just an introduction to what it is about, isn't it? And आपने अष्टांग योग देख लिया. There are 8 limbs to that, but these last 3 limbs are the most important ones, because what happens due to samyama? Tajayat prajnalokah, Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, which means when you become accomplished in these 3 limbs, you will get the knowledge of what is called prajna. Higher awareness will dawn. Knowledge of pure consciousness, जो ब्रह्म वस्तु हम कहते हैं, उसका ज्ञान प्राप्त होता है. So we will go into this, but before that I want some clarity from you, clear understanding of yoga and this scheme. जो हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, you must be very clear about it. I want that clarity from you. So why are we doing this yoga? हम क्यों कर रहे हैं इसकी study? Why exactly are we doing yoga? Not just for the physical exercises for healthy body, not just for that. The reason we are doing it is we want the mind to reach the highest state of consciousness. We want the mind to unfold its entire potential. We want complete attention. We want to manufacture that. And we want that our mind should not be carried away by negativities and all kinds of thoughts. Hai na? So that is why we are doing yoga. The very essence of yoga. इसीलिए हम राजयोग पढ़ रहे हैं. Not just to get a little health. Well, you can get it even by your jog, morning jog. So there is a high purpose to yoga. The purpose of yoga should be very clear in your mind. See, in yoga we always say, yoga philosophy, mind, what is mind? Mind is equal to thoughts bubbling on consciousness. So then what is consciousness? See, if M is equal to T plus C, thoughts plus consciousness, M is mind, mind is equal to thoughts plus consciousness, then what is consciousness? It should be mind minus thoughts, isn't it? ये equation देख लीजिए आप. Look at this equation. M is equal to T plus C. So mind, M is mind, T is thoughts, C is consciousness. If mind is equal to thoughts plus consciousness, then consciousness should be equal to mind minus thought. This is yoga. Chitta vritti nirodh means emptying your mind of thought. उससे क्या होगा? Consciousness will come to the forefront. Consciousness will get generated. So this is the purpose of yoga, to become more aware than identified with the thought process. आप में ये capacity है, but many times this capacity is not exercised क्योंकि there is no yoga in life. This is the actual purpose of yoga, that you are freeing your mind from all sorts of modifications so that your awareness comes to the forefront and you become deeply conscious. When you become aware, you have become conscious, isn't it? You start living in the present moment. You build focus. So इसीलिए हम योग कर रहे हैं. So the first 4 sutras of Patanjali Yoga Sutras will give you this, the purpose of yoga. The very first 4 sutras. See, Patanjali Yoga Sutra are aphorisms. Very small book. एक A4 पेज में आ जाएगा पूरा. But they are aphorisms, sutrakar, which means very, very profound knowledge in very pithy, very small statements. That is the meaning of an aphorism. So ऐसा, it's like a time bomb, you know. tremendous knowledge in very small sentences. ऐसा है वो. So now we have to extract the meaning through practice. You see, the very first sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra will tell you Atha Yoga Anushasanam. That is the first point which I have written there. Now we begin the study of yoga. The second sutra says Yogastu Chitta Vritti Nirodh, which means yoga means stopping the modifications of the mind. Why should you do that? The third sutra will say Tada Drashta Swarupe Avasthanam, which means so as to extract the witness consciousness, the awareness which underlies the thought process. To extract that, you are putting down thought. And then if you maintain it like that, the state of clarity of awareness, it will resolve into its source. That is why you are trying to stop the thought process. And if you don't do this, what happens? The fourth sutra will tell you. The fourth sutra says Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. If you don't do this, your awareness will remain mixed up with thought. You will remain identified with the thought process and being carried away. You are riding the waves of your thoughts, isn't it? When you are angry, anger blows you away. When you are sad, ekdam depression. When you are happy, you are on the clouds. तो ये क्यों हो रहा है? Because you are completely identified with your thoughts. Your awareness is completely, it's one with the thought. So इसमें थोड़ा distance create करना, यही योग है. You must be able to separate your awareness from the thought process. So you see your thought as an object. So योग का मकसद यही है. This is the aim of the practice of yoga, that you are able to so handle your mind that awareness is, you can extract it. So when you have become more aware than identified with a thought process, you have become deeply conscious from within. इस conscious experience को deepen करते 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 you will reach super consciousness. Are you getting it? That is why yoga. Yoga is not about merely those physical exercises. Yoga is not merely about building physical health. It is about changing your level of awareness itself. It is about getting you the highest knowledge. So understand the purpose of yoga. जितना हम ले सकते हैं इसमें से हम लेंगे. जितना हम ले सकते हैं उतना लेंगे. लेकिन the purpose of yoga is very great. It is to know your own self, to know that you are the pure consciousness in which there are thoughts, identification with which brings you body consciousness and world consciousness. You are separate from the mind, you are separate from the thought process, actually speaking. But usually you are identified with it. Identity कैसे आती है हमारे जीवन में? When you draw something to yourself and stick to it. You identify with it. It comes by choice. It doesn't come by default. Please check and see. जो भी identity है आपकी, it is something you have drawn to yourself. By yourself, you are just self-aware. ये चीज़ first person में पकड़नी है. ये कोई theory नहीं है. By yourself, you are only self-aware. The rest is imposed through the thought process. So इसीलिए योग, the purpose is not, well, why should I put down mind? Then you will go to sleep. That is not the purpose of yoga. The purpose of yoga is to awaken this higher awareness. So ये होना चाहिए. In full vitality, if you practice yoga as it should be practiced, यही होगा. Thought will get subdued, awareness will come to the forefront. You deepen it, you will become more and more conscious from within. And you can handle thought. हाथ में अगर एक टॉर्च हो, आप कहीं भी देख सकते हो, है ना? If the torch is fixed somewhere, then you can see only what is under it. But if you have a torch in your hand, you can see the nook and corner of this room as you wish. So awareness is like that. If the mind is in your hands, torch है आपका मन. You can see everything with that. All knowledge will come to you. If it is in your hand, if it is not in your hand, wherever it is fixed, only little bit of knowledge will come to you. ऐसा है, इसीलिए हम योग स्टडी कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए this is a science of consciousness, your own consciousness. It is the giving you the knowledge about you. There's nothing more interesting than this, let me tell you. हम लोग जितना भी PhDs करें ना, you will find this to be the most interesting if you catch it properly, because it is about you. आपकी आइडेंटिटी के बारे में रिसर्च है ये. Who will not be interested, tell me? तो इसीलिए इसको अच्छी तरह पकड़ना. So you see, the very purpose of yoga has been given in the first 4 sutras itself. This is the tremendous possibility in the human life, that you can uncover your own real nature, which is pure existence, pure consciousness, just by this process. So that is the reason why Ashtang Yoga में इतना कुछ वो मांगते हैं, है ना, preconditions. You just stick to the preconditions and practice Samyama, it will unravel to you great knowledge. This is the promise. जो करते हैं उनको मिलता है, जो सिर्फ इसके बारे में सोचते हैं that's just the first step, you know. वेदांत में कहते हैं 3 steps होते हैं, श्रवण, मनन और निधिध्यासन. श्रवण है सुनना, it's only the first step. The transformation has to happen in your consciousness. इसलिए मनन भी चाहिए और निधिध्यासन, meditation भी चाहिए. Then only you get this knowledge. है ना? It is knowing by being, not knowing as an object. ये समझ में आ रहा है? See, when we go into Samyama, you will catch this even more profoundly. See, this is the process of Samyama. Samyama, I told you, it means dharana, dhyana and samadhi done simultaneously, one after the other, on a single object. That is called Samyama. Anything you do Samyama upon will reveal its knowledge to you. योग में बहुत कुछ संयमा के बारे में लिखा गया है कि if you do it on this, you will get this particular result. You do it on your breathing, you will get this result. You do it on your mental faculties, you will get this particular result. ऐसे बहुत कुछ दिया गया है, लेकिन आपको क्या चाहिए? आपको सिर्फ the science of attention चाहिए. Yes? So we will study it like that. It satisfies all purposes, I can tell you that. The art of concentration is the secret of success in life, anywhere. So you see now how they are building focus and concentration in Samyama. Once you have understood Pratyahar, the step before this, you will understand Dharana. Pratyahar kya hai? I told you, Pratyahar means it is the withdrawal of senses and mind from all other things and putting it on one object only. It is conscious withdrawal. इसका मतलब है, when you sit for meditation, suppose you are meditating on Om, तो आप ओम के बारे में अब चिंता, ये धारणा कर रहे हो, लेकिन मन जब बाहर जाता रहेगा. After a few seconds, it has gone somewhere. You bring it back. Again focus on Om. Again it will go somewhere. Again you will bring it back. Again then it went tangentially somewhere. Again you bring it back. तो वो conscious mind होना चाहिए कि अब चला गया है वहाँ पर उसको लाना है. This is still the process of Pratyahar. You are shutting your senses to everything else, you are shutting your mind to everything else. Only the object of concentration is before you. But the next step is Dharana, जो वहाँ दिया गया है. See, during this Dharana also, it is a development over Pratyahar. इसका मतलब है, now it has stopped going to various objects, your mind. It is now focused only on the object of your concentration, Om. Just for example, we have taken Om, but there are still many tracks of thoughts. देखिए वो जो arrows है, there are 5 tracks going on in your mind. ये होता रहता है ना? Many things, thinking many things at a time. At your age, always this is happening. So many tracks going on in the mind. Usually these tracks will be about different things. But at least when you come to Pratyahar and Dharana, it is about the same thing. 5 tracks are going on, but see, 5 level ka thinking chal raha hai. That also is intermittent, not continuous. Please see the arrows there, they explain everything. So, dharana state means you have brought yourself to a level of focus on the object, one object, but still many tracks. Pratyahar means many objects, many tracks. Dharana means one object, many tracks. Okay, but still dharana is quite a powerful state. जिसके बारे में आपको एक बार धारणा हो जाए, you will catch that object, the knowledge about that object completely. Usually concentrated people have this state. Dharana is not uncommon, especially for people like you. That is why you have achieved an admission here. So, समझ लीजिए, dharana state is powerful in itself. You can gain vast knowledge in a small amount of time through the power of dharana, but it is not the ultimate thing. इसके बाद है ध्यान. ध्यान का मतलब है no more tracks. See there, I, the subject, the whole mind is moving towards the object of concentration. Only one track. Full mind is going there. Like if you pour oil from one vessel to another, वो कैसे दिखता है? One track. वैसे I meditating on the object, one track, completely mind is going to the object. No 5 tracks, no 2 tracks even. And continuous flow of oil. उसमें breaks नहीं होते. Nothing is intermittent. This is a very powerful state. If you practice meditation, you will understand its power, because your vitality will come into full operation, full bloom in this state. And still there is a distinction between the subject, your act of meditation, and the object. इसको tripartite distinction बोलते हैं, between knower, knowledge and known. This distinction remains in dhyan, but your vrittis have become such that there is continuous flow towards the object and no disruption. Now, if this state of dhyan is maintained for 144 seconds, not a small time, 2 minutes and 24 seconds, it will become samadhi. इसका मतलब है 2 minute 24 second आपका मन कहीं गया ही नहीं other than the object. So, samadhi is complete absorption in the object. You will actually enter the consciousness of the object. इसीलिए ध्यान के लिए always an elevated object is chosen. A deity, एक divine symbol, या ऐसा कुछ जो आपके मन को लिफ्ट करेगा, है ना? Because you will actually enter the consciousness of the object. You will become one with it. So, the symbol will reveal its meaning. Arthamatra nirbhasa इसको कहते हैं योग सूत्र में, which means the import of that symbol, you merge into that. That alone occupies your mental field. There is no I meditating on that. Only that is there, shining in your awareness. You have merged into it. ये समाधि स्टेट है. ध्यान है प्रत्यय एकतानता, एक प्रत्यय को मेंटेन करना with the tripartite distinction. But samadhi is arthamatra nirbhasa. Only one thing shining in your consciousness, you have merged into it. So, when you merge into the consciousness of something and become one with it, your own consciousness has come to full bloom. Please understand this. It is knowing by being. It is not knowing as an object. You know the tatparya of Om. You know the actual import of the symbol in that state, because you have become that. Your own consciousness came to full fruition. This state can only be understood if you get proficiency in dhyan, in meditation. Until then, it is only an imagination what you think of samadhi, because it is an all absorptive state and it will transform you completely. So, this is the highest level of existence actually. You should understand this. Whenever we talk of human life or human existence, you don't know what you are talking about. Usually you are talking about the sense life. वो इतना intermittent and fractured है. Look at your thought process in that sense life. It is so broken and intermittent that it can hardly be called life. At least the state of meditation, you will understand that what I am capable of. Awareness has come into bloom. That can be called life. But samadhi is actually entering into real life, because you have become fully aware. You understand your own real nature as Brahman. So ये चीज़ें ordinary चीज़ें नहीं हैं. इसको हासिल करने के लिए you should have that dam, which means you must invest time and energy into it. And then you will get a taste of real life and existence. तब तक it is only managing your problems and the silliness of the mind, nothing else. You actually can't call it life. इसीलिए इतने सारे लोग डिप्रेशन में जाते हैं, demoralized mind हो जाता है. Why this happens is, if you don't touch your source, that is bound to happen. सबका परिचय है, अपना ही परिचय नहीं है. This is the problem. When you don't touch your source, all these states of mind are, the mind is actually revolting against the superficiality of life. इसीलिए depression. So get out of this. See, this is the age when you should make yourself such a way you will be able to at least taste something of this. Taste real life, I am telling you. And then you do whatever you want. You will be successful in anything. जिसका मन इस तरह का होता है ना, for him success is not an option. Always he will be successful because the mind is so pointed. So this samadhi state, it is a really transforming experience completely. You know, have you seen anybody in this state? You have seen Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's photo, isn't it? Every picture, there are 3 pictures of Sri Ramakrishna. वो बहुत बड़े saint थे. Realized soul, we look upon him as incarnation of God himself, because मन हमेशा God consciousness में रहता था. Always in samadhi. Occasionally he would come out and have a little something and bas. In one day, many times he would go into samadhi. और बीच बीच में बाहर आके थोड़ा कुछ बोलते थे, कुछ करते थे. उनको जोर करके मन को नीचे लाना पड़ता था, कुछ खाने के लिए. So our problem is opposite, you know. जोर करके लिफ्ट करना पड़ता है, उनको जोर करके नीचे लाना पड़ता था. For the simple reason, the mind has touched the consciousness of God and it lives in that God consciousness. So एक बार, I can tell you this story, it is very interesting. एक डॉक्टर थे वहाँ पर, डॉक्टर महेंद्र लाल सरकार. तो उनको लगा ये क्या चीज़ है, what does he experience in this state? I want to check. तो वो स्टेथोस्कोप लेके आए and he brought his friends also. So all this group of doctors came there, and then the master Sri Ramakrishna, he went into samadhi. Suddenly, whenever there was any suggestion of God or something divine, he would go into that state. तो फिर इन्होंने जाके immediately he removed the stethoscope. पहले पल्स देखा तो पल्स है ही नहीं. फिर हार्ट बीट चेक की, हार्ट बीट भी नहीं है. Then he thought, what is this? Sri Ramakrishna's eyes were just half open. तो उन्होंने अपनी उंगली से, with his finger, he touched his eyeball to see if there is any movement. और उन्होंने देखा movement नहीं है, कोई response नहीं है, reaction नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. Where has the man gone? Then he just has sat there stunned. थोड़ी देर के बाद नहीं, बहुत देर के बाद Sri Ramakrishna came back into that system and flooded with ecstasy and joy, bliss, and the knowledge of what he had touched. और फिर वो बोलने लगे what he had experienced, and this doctor and his group of friends were all in shock कि ये कैसे संभव है. Science has no explanation to this. This is the yogi's state. Please understand. तो ये संभव है ह्यूमन लाइफ में. And whatever came out of his mouth became gospel, Sri Ramakrishna's mouth. That those are the great, you can say, eternal truths of human existence and human life. Because he lives in this state, God consciousness. किसी भी चीज़ को deeply जानने के लिए उसमें merge होना पड़ता है. When you merge in something divine like this, you will get the highest knowledge of human existence. So these are not ordinary states of mind. See, the stillness now you are feeling in this room. ये stillness क्या संभव है और कहीं? I can see how serious all of you have become. It is only because of a foretaste of this state is there when you feel extremely happy. आप तब मन की अवस्था देखो. It is in a state of relative calm, very stable state, where you are deeply aware but not identified with any silly thought pattern. तो ये state जो है, this is your real nature actually. लेकिन we have lost it completely. In today's modern lifestyle, it is a rare thing to even think of something like this. But you should remember you have inherited this spiritual heritage, all of you. ये हमारे देश में ये सब हुआ था, ये रिसर्च हुआ, इसका पूरा it has been put down. Patanjali योग सूत्र में जो है, they were experiences of those yogis and rishis. Upanishads में जो है, they have put it down. So it is a possibility in the human life to get the real taste of in-depth life, what you say, pure awareness. So you must understand that this is perfectly possible. It is not a fantastic idea, somebody's idea. No, this is a way of life for the yogi. I will explain the same thing from the first person standpoint. इसका मतलब है through vritti and pratyay ये कैसे लगता है. अब देखिए next slide. Stages to the meditative state. See, the ordinary mind, our mind is like this usually. Vrittis are all different. Now you are thinking of car, next your mobile phone, then your books, then while outing. So you are thinking of all sorts of things. अब देखिए वृत्ति जो है वो blue line जो है वो वृत्ति है, उसके अंदर जो content है वो प्रत्यय है. Vrittis are different, pratyay is different every time. So mind is restless, always moving, modifying, busy. और कई लोग इसको dynamism भी कहते हैं. It is basically only restless, okay, and uncontrolled. So this is the ordinary mind. You can relate it to your own life and see. Then the next stage is dharana. Now we will try to understand the mind in dharana. आप देखिए कैसे modify हो गया है वृत्ति according to the pratyay. When the pratyay is some elevating object, the vrittis also will get modified. Occasionally some other thought may come, but that's okay, you are still building focus. देखिए धारणा state में from the first person perspective how it goes. Vrittis are fairly regulated, pratyay is fixed. Occasional some other thought may come, that's okay. But in the state of dhyan, you see the picture there, the vrittis are only the same, always falling at the same point. So no movement of mind. And the object, the pratyay has become luminous. वो slide में ठीक तरह से नहीं निकला, but it shines in your awareness because there is no unnecessary movement of mind, no thought activity other than this. And in samadhi, there is no vritti, only the object shines, only the pratyay will shine completely. When there is no vritti, there is no mind. Vritti, mind means vrittis. When no vritti, no mind. So you have transcended mind in samadhi. You have gone far above the normal state of mind. So extreme concentration में ऐसा होता है. You know, Olympic shooters, वो जो final shot मारते हैं ना, उस समय में समाधि जैसी अवस्था हो जाती है उनकी. They are so deeply into it. And everything has got stunned into silence. the movement of the hand, the eye, everything has got riveted when they take aim and just look at it. And finally when they shoot, they are not in this system, as it were. Unless you develop this utter steadiness of body, mind, intelligence, you will not achieve these higher states. Stillness doesn't mean passivity. Stillness doesn't mean tamas. Stillness means the state where you have become so sattvic that when you arrest all this, you are deeply aware. That level of awareness you are able to generate. That is the stillness I am speaking of. तो देखिए, these states actually show you the essence of human existence. Ordinary state of mind, आप खुद ही देखो, how much happiness this state will get you. The dharana state, at least some degree of concentration you have developed. But these higher states will put you, face to face with the highest. You must understand the knowledge in this state is knowledge born of being, not of knowing. क्योंकि object of knowledge ऐसा, you transcend that, the subject-object difference. You will transcend that because you have merged into the consciousness of the object. ये चीज़ क्या है, you can know it only by doing it. विवेकानंदा जब वो छोटे थे, आपकी उम्र के थे, he had this deep longing for nirvikalpa samadhi, and for many days he pestered his guru. Shri Ramakrishna उनके गुरु थे, तो उन्होंने कहा होगा होगा, it takes time but it will happen. Then one day suddenly he was in a particular garden house, Kashipur garden house. There suddenly he got the experience when he was meditating. He felt as if a light had burst in his head, and he completely merged into it. And that is the light of awareness. Ye light mat samajhna. Even to use language is difficult, for all this. And he couldn't find his body after that, क्योंकि sensation has completely withdrawn. So where are my hands and where's my feet? He was saying after that experience. So his consciousness had completely touched the reality of existence, Brahman. फिर बाद में वो कहते हैं कि in that state the dual mode does not exist, that I am meditating on something. नहीं, I have become one with it. So then language will not work. आप किस language से उसको describe करोगे? This is just giving you a foretaste of your possibilities. But it's whatever you practice, that will build up in your life. थोड़ा सा इसलिए I say meditation को practice करना है, 5 मिनट के लिए करो. There is guided meditation on YouTube also. 5-minute guided meditation, यहीं पे मैंने दिया है. If you put it on YouTube, you will get it. Every day try to calm your mind and see the effect for yourself. ये सब कुछ theory नहीं है तब. Now I will give you one particular paradigm for you to understand how your vital energies and these states are connected. देखिए, अब जब आप you will finish your training here and go somewhere, US, UK कहीं जाओगे तो वहाँ पर you have taken a course on Rajयोग. That must show कि आपको इसका ज्ञान है. You must not be like, हाँ उसके बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. इसीलिए I am going to give you one paradigm which will explain how exactly all these things work. This is a paradigm drawn from the Vedas. It is also there in the Tantra. It is there in the minor Upanishads of the Vedas called Yoga Upanishads. It has its roots in the Vedas, but it was developed in Tantra. इसको कहते हैं Shad Chakra model. There are various names given to this model, but it is something very profound which you should understand. अब इसके बारे में हम जो discuss करने जा रहे हैं, nadis and chakras, that you will not find in the physical body. Why? Because it is present in the pranmay kosh, not in your annamay kosh. Because it is to do with your pran, with your vital energies. So if you cut open the body, you will not find all these chakras and nadis and all this. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो नहीं है. What is a nadi? What is a chakra? Nadi is nothing but a conduit for your vital energy. A chakra is nothing but the junction points where you can concentrate vital energy. अब आप खुद ही जब मेडिटेशन करोगे ना, you will understand you can concentrate vitality at different points in your body. तो उसी को हम चक्र नाम दे रहे हैं. And vitality flows in your body, so there must be conduits or channels. उसी का नाम नाड़ी है. So you will not find it in the physical body, but in the pranmay kosh it is found. Now these nadis are thousands in number through which your vital energy is moving. But there are three main nadis, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. Most people are sensitive only to Ida and Pingala. When these are balanced, which means vital energy is flowing normally, stably and in a proper way without whirlpools, your mental life will be very clear, calm, composed, the intellect will be shining, working well, no frustrations, no negative emotions, no shouting, screaming, no depression, nothing of all this. But if the vitality in your nadis is disturbed, उसमें अगर whirlpools आ जाएं, and this can happen through unlawful thinking, through bad emotions, through criminal attitudes, प्राण शक्ति उलट पलट हो जाती है. Then you will suffer from deep disturbances in the Ida and Pingala. It will lead to further, all kinds of emotional upheavals, intellectual obsessions, physical obsessions, all sorts of an erratic lifestyle. It is only because the pranic energy in your system has not been controlled, it has not become stable. तो इसलिए yogis work from the standpoint of vital energy. Jnanis will work from the standpoint of thought. You work anyway, no problem, but they correspond with each other. आप अगर प्राण शक्ति को stable रखोगे अपने system में, which means vitality is focused upward, your mental life will be clear, calm, your thoughts will be pure and noble, your emotions will be beautiful. और अगर प्राण शक्ति is going anyway, anyhow, your mental life will be bizarre. आपको ही अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. All sorts of thoughts and low emotions, all you'll suffer from depression, all this. तो देखिए, there's a correspondence between your vital energy and your mental life. Please understand this. And that is why regulating the flow of vital energy in Ida and Pingala becomes important. How will you regulate? आप सब तो over intellectual लोग हो ना, IIT के लोग हो. So इसीलिए regulated through thought doesn't matter. Think beautiful thoughts, listen to beautiful music, कुछ अच्छी elevating चीज़ें पढ़ो रोज, and get into sattvic habits. Don't get into silly addictions. It will ruin 1 decade of your life, I am telling you. अभी से अगर drinks and drugs में जाओ, it will ruin 1 decade at least of your life. Don't go into that level at all. This is called regulation of lifestyle. Make it as sattvic as possible, so which means what? Your vital energy will start flowing harmoniously in your system, naturally. So your mental life will be luminous, beautiful. Attention will not be a problem, paying attention. तो आपको समझ में आ रहा है? हाँ? But unlawful thoughts, all kinds of things, if you keep ingesting that, जैसे you went to a dustbin and ate something from there. ऐसा हो जाता है. Mind can also become a dustbin. It can become a gold mine or it can become a dustbin, depending on your exposures, your thoughts. तो इसलिए इन सब चीज़ों को थोड़ा ठीक रखना है अपने आप, because it's your life, it's your awareness. So take care of yourself first. Once you regulate the Ida and Pingala, you will have a balanced mental life. Then for the yogi, he becomes sensitive to the Sushumna channel, which means he gets the capacity to raise vital energy along a central channel called Sushumna. ये सभी को ये capacity नहीं आती, but people who are deeply spiritual, उनमें ये capacity आ जाती है. they are able to raise vital energy through the central nadi, Sushumna, and through these chakras they can raise it upward. So, जब तक ये energy in it's in these lower chakras, you see जो यहाँ depicted है Mooladhar, Swadhisthana and Manipura. These chakras are the lower chakras, we say. So, as long as the energy is there, the mind is there, you will be interested only in eating, drinking, sleep, sex, that is all. Once the energy reaches anahata, at once spiritual awakening comes. You are interested in deeper aspects of life. The power of meditation comes naturally because you have raised vital energy to a particular level. Heart center कहते हैं उसको, अनाहत को. And for the first time you taste the joy of pure awareness. You taste beautiful emotions in your mind. Then उसके बाद है विशुद्ध चक्र. When the energy is raised there, or you can say when the mind reaches that chakra, then what happens? You can only talk of these things. You can only think about them क्योंकि मन की प्रवृत्ति वैसी हो गई है. So higher awareness, higher joy. Sri Ramakrishna used to say the mind will only want to talk of God. When it goes further up, Agnya Chakra mein jab the mind dwells, then one understands that there is only a little difference between me and the Supreme. It's like seeing through a lantern, Sri Ramakrishna used to say. The light is inside, I am outside, there is only just a bit of glass separating us, but cheese ek hi hai. And finally when it merges into the Sahasrar, you merge into samadhi, the knowledge of Brahman, the knowledge of the Absolute. तो देखिए, any paradigm you follow, something, what happens to your energy is this is what is happening. It is getting raised higher and higher. Correspondingly, higher awareness is opening up for you. इसीलिए मैंने वो ग्राफ दिया है वहाँ पर. अब देखिए एक ग्राफ है वहाँ नीचे. That graph means as you systematically raise vital energy, your awareness will unfold. As you systematically raise vital energy, your awareness will unfold. So you see, this is what is figuratively in many ways it is described. Shiv Shakti ka milan कहते हैं. Many things, because you know vital energy is Shakti and consciousness is Shiva. So this is how the energy reaches its destination. Figuratively बहुत कुछ कहते हैं इसके बारे में. If you go to the net, all sorts of ideas you will find. But the point is this, you can raise vital energy to its goal, to its destination. And you can, your mind can itself turn divine, plunge into God consciousness through this method. So ये एक paradigm है to understand the states of your mind, how to attain meditation. जब आप पूछते हो how to get into the meditative state, you must get the capacity to handle your vital energy. लेकिन इन सब चीज़ों को अपने आप नहीं करना है. हाँ मैंने देख लिया है स्लाइड, अब मैं आज करके ही देखूंगा, वैसा नहीं होता है. You need the guidance of a guru. Just now we are giving you a knowledge of this, that's all. This knowledge is nothing, I am telling you. असल चीज़ है practice, sticking to a particular kriya. Then you will find the transformation within yourself. So that only from the guru you have to get it, because it is, please remember, a transformation of energy, isn't it? What is the law of conservation of energy? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to another. Same with your vital energy, it is also energy. You cannot destroy it, you cannot create it. God created it for you. You can transform it into the highest powers. You can transform it into the supreme attention you require for whatever success in life. You can transform it into God consciousness. Or you can waste it on drinks and drugs also. आप ही सोच लो how you will handle the vitality in your system, because you know that will define you. It will define your life. तो इसीलिए I have given you this particular paradigm. Think over it. It is very scientific. इसमें कोई occult ये नहीं है, बात नहीं है. It is not hodgepodge. You have the capacity to concentrate vitality in your system. raise it, understanding what its destination is. That is the way to elevate life. That is the way to get more out of life. If you don't understand this process, you will allow it to stagnate somewhere. If it stagnates, your mental life will turn awkward, very bizarre. Addictions, obsessions, negative thinking. See, today this is the problem with our young people. Basic चीज़ में training नहीं है. How to handle your system and your thought and your emotion, you should learn that first, isn't it? How to handle nuclear energy, how to handle solar energy, that you should learn next. But how to handle my own energy, I should learn first, isn't it? So, you must learn it at least now. If you want to remain out of depression throughout your life, if you want to remain out of negativity throughout your life, learn to raise your energies to your heart. Learn to think nobly always. Learn to be service minded. मैंने कहा ना, through thought automatically you raise vital energy. अगर अच्छी अच्छी भावनाएं मन में आए, kindness, service, love, feeling for others, घर में सर्विस करो, अभी बाहर जाके करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Do it to your parents who have made you what you are. That itself is a big thing. You see how your character will transform. This education is part and parcel of the education you are receiving. ये कोई special course नहीं है. This is actually your life. If you train yourself like this right from now, you know you will be a leader anywhere. नहीं तो you will only be the boss. कौन सा बनना है? Boss बनना है या leader? Leader बनना है ना? So leaders are like this. They see something more than what the ordinary can see. And they have worked on transforming themselves into that. सिर्फ चीज़ें जानना, Google search engines are there to do that for you. Whatever information you require, you will get it today with just one click, you will get it. But real knowledge and knowledge which leads to wisdom will come only when you work on yourself. पहले इसलिए जीना सीखना है, how to live well, how to think properly. The rest will follow. When you think nobly and when you think great things, naturally your vital energy is getting lifted to the heart. और कुछ करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, पता है? Because I told you thought is the highest expression of pran, vital energy. So use your thought mechanism. You have so much of intelligence, you can do anything with it. In fact, our society depends on your intelligence for what it will become tomorrow. इसीलिए become very responsible people. See, this one thing you must learn out of this course. आप ये करो या ना करो, you must learn to be absolutely responsible, absolutely committed, conscientious individuals whom everybody can rely on. ऐसे बनोगे, then it is worth taking courses like this. So make it part and parcel of your life. इसी से आपका जीवन बहुत महान बन जाएगा. So now let us move to this. We have just a few minutes. See, meditation जो है, there it is of various types. I am going to give you some knowledge of that also, because कल कहीं जाकर after taking a course on Rajयोग, you should not say मुझे इसके बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है. इसलिए ये सब theoretical knowledge हम दे रहे हैं आपको. See, meditation is subject focusing on an object. Okay. Now, when the meditation is about knowing the subject, the nature of the subject, it is called subjective meditation. When it is about knowing the nature of the object, it is called objective meditation. And when it is just to stabilize the process, the mind, it is called process meditation. So, like this, there are types of meditations. These are the three main types. And based on this, I will be showing you a slide. You must know something about the spiritual heritage of this country. How many types of meditations have been discovered, invented, you know, right from the Vedic age. Vedic age कब था? more further back. That's according to your Google. It was actually more than 4,000 years back. In fact, if you go by archaeological findings, it is more than 8,000 years back. So, Indian scholars, Western scholars are divided on these opinions, but I am telling you the Vedic age is the most ancient age. और वहाँ पर आप सोचिए, when the Americas were not even discovered, Europe was under the grip of Vikings and all that. Far before that, all this was going on in these Himalayan forests, जहाँ पर आज आप बैठे हो. This was going on in the Himalayan forests, these discoveries, these meditations, understanding the nature of existence and life, experiments on all this was going on. उसी को हम Vedic age कहते हैं. From the product of that was the Upanishads. अगर आप एक उपनिषद पढ़ोगे, you will understand what tremendous research on consciousness was going on. So that is what created our knowledge societies of that time. बाद में ये invasion सब बाद में हुआ, लेकिन initially, you see, this is your history. So this knowledge, you will know it best in a sense, because it is part of this culture. लेकिन आप ही अगर कहो नहीं इसके बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है, कभी सोचा नहीं, you are losing a huge chunk of precious knowledge, I am telling you. You must get knowledge of all the external, but most important is to get knowledge of this system and this mechanism, how it works, how my thought works, how my emotion works, how I can handle my vital energies, and as a result, what can I get? Because the individual is interacting with the collective, with the world, remember this, isn't it? Then you will take the right things from the external also. Whatever impinges on your senses, वो ही सिर्फ आप नहीं लोगे. You will choose and take the right things and your life will be very good. तो अच्छी तरह समझ लो, योग का मकसद ही है to develop self-development. That is the aim of yoga. Development along all other fields is for the other sciences, but self-development is the special forte of yoga and Vedanta. तो इसके लिए बहुत सारे टेक्निक्स, अब हम टेक्निक्स प्रैक्टिस करेंगे नेक्स्ट क्लास से, बिकॉज इट इज़ अ प्रैक्टिकल नेक्स्ट 2 सेशंस ऑफ on 12th and then later whenever. So those will be sessions when you will actually practice the Pratyahar technique, a dharana technique and Dhyana. Of course samadhi tak hum nahi jayenge, no problem, don't worry, but at least this much you will practice. And meditation, I told you 5-minute meditation जो YouTube पर है, IIT का ही है वो, यहीं पे दिया गया था. You can keep using that technique, but I will make you practice it here also, a bigger version of that. ठीक है? So with this theoretical knowledge, let me move to the next slide. लेकिन है हमें 5 मिनट ही है. Okay, before I move to the next slide, let me tell you a story based on this, क्योंकि ये सब आपके मन में रहेगा. See, when you talk of gathering knowledge, मैंने कहा that knowledge which is purely of the nature of information will come to you automatically through your search engines whenever you want. But what we call knowledge in the yogic context is that which you know, which is atindriya, जो आपका search engine आपके लिए नहीं ला सकता है, जिसके बारे में you have to sensitize yourself to perceive it. And knowledge of your own being, self awareness, वो कोई भी आपको बता नहीं सकता, दे नहीं सकता. Can anybody introduce you to your own awareness? Tell me. You have to know it by yourself. If you are keen, you will invent techniques towards it. Who am I truly? अगर आप पूछो, you will see that you are only awareness, and in which a thought process starts and identifies with everything else. But awareness is fundamental to your experience. इसके बारे में रिसर्च कोई वेदांत कहते हैं हम. That is why it is existential inquiry about the nature of your existence. So don't think it is some great philosophy, मुझे इसके बारे में. It is inquiring into the nature of your existence. What is the bare nature of my existence? और उसको कैसे reach करें this level of knowledge? through योग. योग में जब आप stabilize हो जाते हो, you will build attention to that extent that you can take up that inquiry. So yoga is a step towards the knowledge of Vedanta. Once the mind becomes stable, you can get all subjective and objective knowledge, just like that. But if the mind itself is unstable, can you do anything? So that is why this is how we use yoga. Swami Vivekananda कहते थे कि योग is the means to everything. Any form of yoga you take up, it can be karma yoga, it can be this Raja yoga, bhakti yoga, but it is the means to higher knowledge. So this is the value of this system of philosophy. It is a psychological philosophy because it is studying your own mind. किसी का mind नहीं study कर रहे हैं. Patanjali is not studying his own mind or somebody's mind. It is always in the first person. It is studying your mind. Okay, and when you study the mind of a healthy person, एक योगी का mind अगर study करो, you will know the reaches of the human intelligence, of the reaches of human consciousness. If you study only the sick mind, you know, modern psychology, this is the problem. You study only patients, then you will feel, array, human mind is like this only. So that is why the field of positive psychology and this contemplative psychology कहते हैं इसको. This has come up. मैं बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में टीच कर रही हूँ इसको. The healthy mind you should study. The mind full of awareness, the mind full of intuition, the mind that is focused, that is the healthy mind. The mind with beautiful emotions, elevating thoughts. And the sick mind, depressed mind, stupid mind, wrongly conditioned mind, that is the patient mind. How can you conclude human mind is psychology is the study of the patient mind? So be careful. This will generate for you healthy mind. You know, if Freud and Jung and these people had studied a yogi, their psychology would have been different. But they went and studied some obsessed person, somebody obsessed with women, somebody obsessed with this or that, and they concluded human psychology is like this, what to do. So understand, healthy mind को मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए योग है. If you have this in your culture and heritage and you don't utilize it, isn't it a very tragic thing? इसीलिए हमें लगता है कि you must bring this into your life in whatever measure you can. Theoretical knowledge you are receiving, bring the 5 minutes of practice into your life and you will see it will help you enormously regulating thought, emotion, energy, and keeping attention very steady always. This is the immediate change which yoga will bring into your life.